Hello everyone and welcome to Katharine's Creatures. This is a series where we get to talk a little bit about and touch base upon various mythological beasts, beings, and the like pulled from lore worldwide. And I always like to preface by saying I'm not a linguist, so if I mispronounce anything, I do apologize in advance. And today I'm going to talk about a creature that was recommended, and this is the Ahool, hopefully I pronounced that correctly. And it's essentially a winged cryptid that is believed to live in some of the deepest jungles of Java and the better part of Indonesia. And this one is often described as being either some kind of gigantic, enormous bat or some flying primate, but I'll get into the why of that when I talk a little bit more about its detailed description in just a moment. It is called the Ahool after its howl. It has this distinctive cry that really sounds like its name, Ahool, and so that is why it received its name, supposedly. Now, there are similarities to it and another kind of cryptid creature from New Guinea called the ropin. So there are certain theories, especially in those cryptozoologists out there, that they may be either related in some way, shape, or form. But as far as the owl goes, it is, again, this kind of winged creature that has a long snout, large wings. Sometimes it's described with having this long, thin crest upon it. Its face is distinctly kind of this mix, this nice blend between features that we consider being very bat-like and those that look a lot like a chimpanzee. Again, this kind of primate in shape and distinct character. Its eyes are described as being very large and dark. It's described as having kind of a red, fleshy, or skinned wings. So again, think more like bats rather than birds. And it's noted to have large claws as well that kind of stem from its forearms. And the fur is typically noted as being gray in color. Now, as far as the size goes, as I mentioned earlier, this is a very large creature. Its wingspan is supposedly between 18 and 28 feet in length, so that would be about 6 to 9 meters, if you can think about that. So it's a pretty big flying creature. Thankfully, it's not necessarily carnivorous and predatory towards humans typically. It is noted to eat a lot of local fauna, particularly going after fish rather than people, but there are notable cases that have been recorded where it has attempted to attack humans. Now, this is probably because some theorists say it is extremely territorial, but it is also an opportunist. So if a large prey animal, or at least some kind of animal it's going to view as prey, ends up in its territory and it has the wherewithal and the, I'm losing my train of thought, it thinks it has a chance to attack it, it may try to hunt a larger creature, and humans being one of those. Now, as far as sightings, there was one site when I was looking at a couple documented sightings, both of which were the same naturalist. And this first sighting was recorded in 1925, and this was a Dr. Ernest Bartel, and again, then a naturalist exploring the area, looking, I think, at waterfalls kind of off the slopes of the Salic Mountain. And in that particular first sighting, the creature, the Ahool, flew overhead and startling the naturalist as he kind of noted this large flying winged thing circling above in the sky. Now, a few years later, that same naturalist had a secondary sighting, which he also claimed as being the same creature, the Ahool, and this was in 1927. This was located near, and I know I'm going to mispronounce anything, the Coal River, which is located in West Java. And again, another sighting where the creature flies overhead. Now, as being the fact that this is a cryptid, there are people who still kind of believe and search for it today. If it does exist, who knows? But I feel like a large winged bat-like creature or flying primate would be notable. And that's pretty much all I have at the moment for the Ahool. If you have any questions about this or anything else, please post them in the comments below or reach out to me on any of my other social media. Until next time, Skull.